Well, hi, I'm Andrew Wilson, and the verse that changed my life is Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 28. I was a teenager in a Bible week setting. There was this sort of very powerful worship time. The band were leading, and it was just sort of having this wonderful time of corporate worship as a teen. And I was seeing things in God that I'd not really seen before anyway at this event, and was really moved by what was happening. And then a guy got up and read Ezekiel chapter 1, which is a very strange chapter to read to a group of teenagers on the floor in a Bible week. But I just couldn't believe that the description of God, the sort of wonder and awe and glory and majesty of this passage was just something I'd never heard. I thought I didn't know that was in the Bible. I'd never read it before. It really blew me away. And it's this extraordinary description of the throne of God and this sort of enormous expanse of crystal and these living creatures and these wheels and fire and lightning and windstorm. It's just so vivid and dramatic. And the chapter finishes with this, after this extraordinary description, the chapter finishes with Ezekiel 1 verse 28. And it says, "This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell on my face, and I heard the voice of one speaking." And so this astonishing description of rainbows and storm and fire, a terrifying vision. And then at the end, Ezekiel says, this was like the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord, as in this was a little bit of something a bit like what you might have seen if it had been somewhat like this. He found the glory of God. He'd reached for every description in his arsenal. He'd gone for every kind of turn of phrase or image that might communicate transcendence and awe and glory, and then concluded by saying, I don't know, that was a little bit what it was like, but my goodness, I wouldn't dare to describe the grandeur of the glory of God. And I think to the extent that a verse changes your life, this was mine. My oldest son is called Ezekiel, because of this experience. I think I hope since then preached and written about God in a way that's trying to maybe reflect or do justice to that vision of his glory. I haven't always done that well. I haven't always lived mindfully of it. But that sense of the otherness of God and the splendor of who he is, and the fact that you can't really describe it, but we should still try, has been with me ever since. And it has, in that sense, I think, changed my life.